On the morning of August 26, 2023, two alarming 911 calls initiated a sequence of events leading to a deeply unsettling discovery. The first call, from a worried woman in Carolina, expressed concern that her 22-year-old son, Alexander Lewis, might have harmed his 19-year-old girlfriend, Zayla Bronson, in Wichita, Kansas. Shortly after, a second call came from Lewis himself, confessing to strangling Zayla. When officers located Lewis's vehicle, they found Zayla unconscious. Despite their resuscitation attempts, she was tragically pronounced dead at the scene. Wichita, Kansas, the largest city in the state, is often known as the air capital of the world. Renowned for its aviation industry, it boasts a dynamic center for culture, commerce, and innovation. However, like any place, Wichita faces challenges, ranking among cities with some of the highest crime rates in the United States. Tragically, 19-year-old Zayla became a victim of these challenges, not stemming from the city at large, but within the confines of her own life. Zayla Bronson came into the world as the first child of Stephen and Taronza Bronson on September 13, 2003. At that time, her father, Stevie, was stationed at the Fort Campbell military base on the Kentucky-Tennessee border. A year later, Zayla happily embraced her role as the proud older sister when her little sister, Ziria, entered their lives. When Zayla turned 4, they welcomed a younger brother, Zaven. By 2023, at the age of 19, Zayla seemed to have it all figured out. She completed her first year at WSU, was excited about her second year, and aspired to become a math teacher. Zayla had also found love with 22-year-old Alexander Lewis, a member of the U.S. Air Force whom her family liked. Unexpectedly, in early 2023, Zayla discovered she was expecting a baby. Despite her young age, her family eagerly anticipated the arrival of the new family member. As the year progressed, Zayla had more good news to share, including her new car and job as a manager at City Trends, a clothing store. However, her primary focus remained on her unborn baby, due in February 2024. Tragically, her loved ones would never have the chance to discover the chosen name, as Zayla's life took an unforeseen turn. Shortly after 11:00 a.m. on Saturday, August 26, 2023, North Carolina authorities received a 911 call from the concerned mother of Alexander Lewis. To protect her privacy, her identity was kept confidential. She reported that Lewis had informed her he had fatally harmed his 16-week pregnant girlfriend, Zayla Bronson, in Wichita. Deeply worried, she sought help. Upon learning about the incident, Wichita police received a call from Alexander Lewis himself. He confessed to being involved in a physical altercation with his girlfriend, during which he strangled her. Lewis revealed that the incident occurred at her residence, and she was now with him. These distressing calls prompted Wichita police officers to respond to two different locations. Initially, they went to Zayla's apartment but found it empty. A record search revealed Lewis lived in another apartment, and after knocking repeatedly, he answered the door. Upon arrest, officers inquired about Zayla's whereabouts. Lewis mentioned being at her place, not knowing what to do with her in his car. Officers retrieved the car keys and, opening the trunk, found Zayla's lifeless body covered with a white blanket. Inside the trunk, officers also discovered an axe and a shovel. On the front passenger seat, they found a black backpack containing various items, including duct tape, bottles of water, clothing, flashlights, towels, and trash bags. A black hooded sweatshirt with white markings and Zayla's purse, containing her wallet and identification, were also found. The news was devastating for Zayla's family. Her mother, who had been at a women's gathering, received a call from her husband, learning about the tragic event. The shock left her crumpled on the floor, fully aware that her daughter had been taken away forever. The questions of why and how lingered, with Lewis being the only person with the answers. Inside the Wichita Police Department, detectives conducted a thorough interrogation of Alexander Lewis after making sure he understood his Miranda rights. They delved into the history of his relationship with Zayla. Lewis revealed that their involvement spanned a year, but he described a different picture from the seemingly ideal romance perceived by others. According to Lewis, their relationship was far from perfect. He claimed that Zayla had cheated on him and interacted with other men multiple times, causing issues. About 3.5 months before her death, Zayla discovered she was pregnant with their child. Despite the instability in their relationship, she decided to carry the baby to term. Lewis provided an account of events from August 25, 2023. On that day, he called Zayla at her workplace, and a heated argument ensued. Later that evening, Zayla unexpectedly arrived at Lewis's apartment, reigniting the argument. The disagreement led to Zayla abruptly ending their relationship and leaving his residence. Lewis described feeling stressed, and Zayla resumed contact, sending provocative text messages. Lewis decided to go to her apartment, hoping to reconcile. Surveillance footage confirmed that Zayla returned home alone at 10:14 p.m. on August 25th. Lewis arrived shortly afterward, and a verbal altercation continued throughout the night. At 8:13 a.m. on August 26th, Zayla briefly took her dog to the apartment courtyard, joined by Lewis. This marked the last time Zayla was seen alive. Upon their return, the argument escalated further. Lewis, overwhelmed, admitted to grabbing Zayla around her neck in a moment of anger. He emphasized that he never intended to take her life. Panic overtook Lewis after realizing Zayla showed no signs of breathing. In a state of distress, he wrapped her lifeless body in a blanket, placed her in the trunk of his vehicle, and drove back to his apartment. He contacted his mother, who advised him to return home and contact the authorities. Before reaching his home, he returned to Zayla's apartment to retrieve a hat he had left behind, then made the distressing call to 911. Lewis also addressed the presence of an axe and shovel in the trunk, explaining that he had purchased these items months earlier and stored them there for unrelated reasons. Although Alexander Lewis had confessed to the murder of his girlfriend and provided a detailed timeline, one thing didn't match his reasoning for the killing. He claimed he didn't mean to harm Zayla, and that rage overtook him. However, web searches on his phone told a different story. Detectives obtained a search warrant for Lewis's black Samsung cellular phone on August 28, 2023, and uncovered disturbing web searches. On the evening of August 25, 2023, Lewis conducted searches related to stun guns, lethal weapons, and weapons that can kill. Furthermore, at 8:02 a.m. on August 26, 2023, just 10 minutes before Zayla was last seen on the apartment surveillance system, he searched for chokehold. As the investigation continued, additional web searches pointed to even more alarming topics. At 8:51 and 8:52 a.m., Lewis conducted searches related to snapping necks. After multiple searches regarding abortion, at 10:57 a.m., web searches resumed, this time focused on the topic of murder, with the last search recorded at 11:06 a.m. These findings cast doubt on Lewis's initial claims and raised serious questions about his intentions that fateful morning. The detectives' investigation led them to a chilling theory. They believe that Lewis, fearing the responsibilities of impending fatherhood and the challenges it presented to their already unstable relationship, took a horrifying and tragic step to eliminate what he saw as a problem. Sadly, his selfish act didn't just end one life, it led to the destruction of 3. Zayla's promising life was tragically cut short, while Lewis now faces a lifetime behind bars, and their baby boy will never see the light of day. Alexander Lewis is facing capital murder charges and is currently held at the Sedgwick County Jail on a $500,000 bond. So guys, what do you think about this tragic, and what are your thoughts on the true motive of Alexander? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Alright guys, there you have it guys. If you want more videos like this, be sure to give us a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button for more.